little bits of wood. I keep bits about that long, so when I've cut a plank up into strips, there's often bits at the end, and I'll cut them to this kind of 3-inch length. I make little cuckoo whistles out of them, but I'm going to do something else with this one. So take a centre punch, mark your centres. This is part of the recorder making, because the medieval recorder that I make, the one that I copied from Elblang in Poland, doesn't have a shaped plug. It has a parallel plug. Now this is a piece of cherry. Often these days people use pencil cedar for the plugs of their recorders. They didn't in medieval Renaissance times. They didn't. They used whatever they had. There's cherry, there's cornelian cherry, which is a kind of another weird fruity bodied thing. Yeah, so they use any kind of wood. Maple is quite common, sycamore kind of thing. So I'm just going to turn this down a bit. So that's enough for the moment. You can see it was often sticking because all I'm driving it with is one of these centres. It's got a little point and a ring. It leaves a little ring on the end and a point, so you can see which bit is driving it. It's just held in place. It hasn't got any teeth that grip or anything. You can use one of these sort of centres, which has those, but you end up with a big cross on the end, and you have to kind of lose a lot at the end of it. This way you don't lose much. But anyway, I would turn that down. I'll throw that aside. I would turn that down till it was like this. You've got a nice little cylinder. I could make that into a cuckoo whistle, but what I'm going to do now is make it into a plug with a hideous machine that I discovered just the other day, and thought I'd try it, and it seems to work. So basically the bore of my soprano recorder, the Elblang soprano recorder, is 14mm, and it used a parallel plug, not a shaped plug, but a parallel plug. So I've put my 4-jaw chuck, self-centering 4-jaw chuck on the lathe. I've got my nice already turned round, just any size piece of wood, which I don't want it in that far. There we go. There we go. Seems pretty good. Right, so then we take this one off to knock that one out through the hollow tailstock. Put that aside, and I bought this on eBay, and it's for cutting dowels for using in timber frame construction when you want to make things particular size. So this is a 14mm one, obviously, and it kicks up a load of mess. So I would normally be wearing full dust mask and stuff, but I can't talk through it because this is what I normally wear. It extracts the air through there and blows it down over your face. It's got a battery at the back. And it's very, very good. So I'm going to use this instead, my vacuum cleaner. So that's done now. I would turn that off and you end up with a little kind of handy sleeve that's not very handy for anything, but you know, looks good. Turn that bit off, and underneath there you have got a 14mm plug, which may need a little bit of trimming, because when it first goes in, the so there we go. Where the cutter first goes in, it leaves a dodgy bit at the end. It isn't quite the right size. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, I've found. But so far I've been more accurate with this than I have turning them by hand, which is what I always used to do, turn them by hand 14mm all the way along, and they'd end up slightly tapered or, you know, wiggly. I was getting better at it, but still, this, even at this amount of time, has saved me time. So there we go, I've turned the end there, faced it off to get it down, and I have got a piece of sandpaper, clean it up a bit. And when I'm sanding, I'm always careful to try and keep the paper flat on it, not go over the end, ever, on your instruments, because you will just round the ends off, and that's not what you want. You're certainly not what you want on a parallel plug for a recorder. You want that to be straight. And then you see if it fits on one of your recorders. It's a bit tight on that one. That's sycamore. This one is cherry, and cherry sometimes for some reason seems to be a bit kind of easier. Yeah, so that goes on much further. So that'll be fine. That's a parallel plug made for that recorder as it's going to be. I can put that aside now and work on the next one.